Hello everybody! Today I'll be showing you guys a crazy broken build that you can make in Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. First, I'll be showing you guys everything you are using, and second, I'll be showing you guys where you can get those items. So let's get into it. The weapon that we're using is the Frenzy Flame Perfume Bottle, but the Perfume Bottle isn't what deals the damage. The Ash of War Rolling Sparks is. And second, you will need a seal. Any seal will do as long as it's a seal because you need it to apply buffs. And the buffs that we're using is Flame Granting Strength and Golden Vow. And I don't suggest you to use Half Shabriri to replace Flame Granting Strength because you're already taking a lot of damage in the DLC. So I don't suggest you using Half Shabriri, which makes you take more damage but gives you more damage buff than Flame Granting Strength. The talisman that we're using is the Ritual Sword Talisman, the Perfumer's Talisman, the Fire Scorpion Charm, and Shard of Alexander. And where to get all these items? So I would first start with the most special one, Shard of Alexander. You can only get this by completing Alexander's questline, and this questline is pretty long because it goes from the start of the game to almost the end of the game, which is at Farum Azula. And that's where you can get the best version of this. But if you are a bit rushed, then you can kill Alexander at the start of the game to get a lesser version of this talisman, but I really don't recommend that because you don't get access to the DLC until late game anyways. And the Fire Scorpion Charm, I will show you guys where to get that on the map. So you will go from Erdtree Gazing Hill into Mount Gelmir, and you would ride and ride and ride to somewhere around here, and then you will go into this fort, which will give you the talisman. And then for the Perfumer's Talisman, you will get it at Perfumer's Ruins. It's pretty simple. If you go up through the elevator after beating the Magma Worm, you will just keep going left and you will see the Perfumer's Ruin. And right next to the Erdtree Gazing Hill is the Lux Ruin, but I think it's easier to reach it from the Grand Lift. And after you reach it, there's a very obvious boss room. Go beat the boss, it's pretty easy, and then you can get the Ritual Sword Talisman. And you can make a few changes to this build. If you're taking damage right off the start with the boss and you just somehow cannot avoid it, then change this into any damage negating talisman or any health buffing talisman. For example, Erdtree's Favor or Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman. And if you find yourself taking too much damage, then replace Fire Scorpion Charm with, again, any damage negating talisman or health buffing talisman. And now for the special one. So first, you can get the Frenzy Flame Perfume Bottle here. And by here, I mean the Church Ruin, which you can gain access through a little bit complicated journey. So first, you need to beat the Golden Hippopotamus and gain access to the Shadow Keep. And then you will just go from here, go upstairs, go into this room, and then go through this room, and then go to somewhere around here. You should see a ladder. You shouldn't be able to miss it. It's pretty obvious. You go down, there will be another tiny room with another ladder. And then you go down, you just keep going until you reach this side of Grace. And then you will keep going down, and then you should be able to see the Dark Light Catacomb. And I think it's down there in this area instead of being up there. So just look around this area. And this is a pretty big catacomb, actually. There's like 4 to 5 elevator rides in it. So it might take a bit long than you would think, but I think you would end up in the Forsaken Graveyard. And if you would keep walking forward, you will end up at the Woodland Trail, and you will not want to go over here. It's horrible. But if you could just keep following this path, you should be able to reach the Church Ruin pretty quickly. And you come in here, go left, and you should be able to get it. And then now I will show you guys where to get the Ash of War. So first, right after Castle Ensis, this is where you want to go. This side of Grace. let's give it a little time for the map to load. The reason that I'm showing you guys in person is because I think this one is pretty hidden. The first time I came around this area, I completely missed it. And you know, this is a pretty key part of the build, so you don't want to miss this. So you just keep going forward, and I really suggest you stick to the right, because if you just came out of Castle Insis, you probably don't have much of the Erdtree blessing, so you will almost definitely get one-shotted by the fire pot giant thingy if it decides to attack you and you get hit. So just stick to the right. And if you stick to the right, it's likely to attract a lot of aggro from all the soldiers that is in this camp. And you would, once you get here, you would ride up from here. Now once you're here, you will not be able to miss it because it's so obvious flying in the air. You can shoot it down with incantation, spell, or if you are not using any of those, you can just use bow and arrow to shoot it down. But you do have to be careful because once it gets down, it explodes. So you want to right away, once you clear out its HP. And after that, you are granted the Ash of War Rolling Sparks, which deals all the damage in this build. And oh, wait, I have to go back. Sorry, everybody. I forgot to talk about another key part of this build, which is the flask. In the flask, you will be using any crack tier corresponding to your perfume bottle. Like, there's lightning and there's fire spark. So for the fire spark and the frenzy flame one, you'll be using the fire crack shrouding tier. And for the lightning one, then use the lightning one. Pretty simple. But the second one isn't that simple, which I'll be showing you guys now. It's the oil soak tier. This is exclusively for fire attack because it covers enemy in oil, which boosts your fire attack even more. So you can just see this as boost fire attack damage. And you will be getting this at actually the same place that you will need to go. After you get out of the castle and you get to somewhere like around here, there will be like the giant fire pot thing. Defeat it and it will grant you the oil soaked tier. And that's the build. And if you want to see the build in action, you can go check out the short I uploaded. You can literally cheese the final boss of the DLC with 5 hits. But I do have to tell you guys, that clip is done by someone else, and he practiced a lot to memorize every single move of the boss. So you might not be able to get the same effect as the effect in the video. And if you're struggling with any bosses, again, replace Ritual Sword Talisman and Fire Scorpion Charm with something that buffs your damage negation and your health so you are able to take more damage. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you like this build, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.